Hey, guys, happy Monday and welcome back. Whew, do we have a lot to talk about? Guys, last night was interesting because we had Potomac, Salt Lake City, 90-day. It never stops on Sundays, so Mondays we have so much to talk about. Well, of course, we'll be recapping Salt Lake City today on my channel at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Down with Jason and Kim Pyre, but we do have some details that weren't on last night's episode. So we're going to jump into all of that. But before we do, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell. Because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. Now with that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so it looks like Lisa Barlow is addressing the cult allegations against Mary Cosby, and she is saying that she regrets even raising the issue on the show. So we have the details from that, but it was interesting because we thought from the very beginning, before the Jen Shah arrest, that the Mary Cosby church cult allegations were going to be the main storyline of this season. Now, I think by Jen Shah being arrested, I think that kind of took the heat off of Mary Cosby because this is something a lot of people wanted to know. There were interviews coming out all over YouTube, all over the internet for different publications and whatever you want to call them, but blogs, whatever. And these were interviews from Mary Cosby's alleged family telling us that they feel like the whole thing is a scam. They feel like it's a cult. So of course we thought after these interviews came out, especially mine with Dan Cosby, and it received a lot of attention after they came out, yeah, everyone wants to know and they want Mary to address these cult allegations. She has this kind of wonky, interesting behavior on the show, and the way that she talks to the church, it makes you think sometimes, and it definitely raises some flags because you're wondering, well, this woman refers to herself as God. We've heard the audio of her screaming at the congregation, telling them, you know, what a joke they are, not word for word verbatim, but what a joke they are because they can't give enough money to her. It's like the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. But again, this is why these allegations had to be brought up on the show. And what other storyline would we get from Mary Cosby? Her sitting in her closet, her with her son, Robert Jr.? No, I don't think so. This isn't a Lisa Rinna storyline where you can just throw it off on your kid and, oh, my kid is dating this person or my kid is going to school. We don't want to know about that. We want to know about the cult allegations. So even though Lisa Barlow is saying, I regret bringing them up in the first place, we are so thankful that you did. This is what's being said. Lisa Barlow is explaining why she began even questioning Mary Cosby's church and the cult allegations during season 2 of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Now, following the dramatic trailer that we've already seen, and of course, we're 4 episodes in now, the fans are wanting more information about some of the teasers that were dropped. Obviously, Jen Shah is going to be the central storyline for this season, but also everyone wants to know about the allegations against Mary's church because many have claimed that it's very cult-like. If fans recall from the teaser, Lisa is seen speaking with a man who has information about the First Lady of the Faith Temple Church. And as it turns out, this is the man who introduced Lisa to Mary in the first place. Lisa did an interview with Digital Spy and said, Mary is very complex. With those complexities, I know Mary because my friend introduced me to Mary. That's how Mary kind of came into this friend circle. It was through my friend. I've been really good friends with him for years. He's an amazing person. And I'm sure she probably ended that off with, love that. Love that. Love that. Okay, I'll keep going. Now, it's unclear how this friend knows Mary in the first place, but he is telling Lisa in the trailer, so we have this episode coming up eventually, but telling Lisa that she refers to herself as God. According to Lisa, she met up with him on camera because it was only fair that she allowed him to tell his side of the story when it came to his dealings with Mary. Well, it sounds a little bit shady, but at the end of the day, again, same way Sutton asking the questions about Erica comes off shady. We all want to know these questions. So thank you on behalf of the fans, because this is important to us, right? Lisa said being a good friend means that you're listening to your friends and relationships are dynamic. It would be unfair of me to just hear Mary's side of the story and not listen to a person who I've had a history with that actually introduced Mary to the group. She added to that, I think you're going to see his perspective and what his feelings are, and everyone is entitled to their feelings. Just because someone feels a certain way, I might agree with them or disagree with them, and that goes for Mary too. Now, Mary Cosby obviously hasn't really commented on this, but she has said, I love my family and I love my church too, and she's making it seem like there is no way in hell that this would be a cult-like situation. She doesn't even know where we're getting this information, who's coming out with this, why would she run it like a cult? And she's like, if you want to know, ask the congregation. And I'm sure the people who are still very much so a part of that congregation would not come forward and say, yes, we feel like we go to church every Sunday and it's a cult. Yeah, no man. Now, as for whether or not Lisa has any regrets about bringing Mary's situation up on camera, she said, no, apparently it was important for her to find out as much as Mary as possible, as much about Mary as possible, in order to determine where her friendship with Mary could go. Actually, her words exactly were, to me, it was just saying, hey, I'm listening to someone and their perspective, and there's nothing wrong with that. It helps me understand more of who Mary is, and then I can assess my relationship with Mary and figure out what kind of dynamic I want to have with Mary. So it sounds like Lisa Barlow is just doing her homework. And at the end of the day, I'm not mad at her about that. One thing I wasn't happy about when it comes to Lisa Barlow, and again, we'll get to that today in our recap, our live recap at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard, is the fact that she's being accused of canceling the caterers for this LGBTQIA+ event. Now, of course, you guys know if you watch the episode that we meet our newbie, Angie Harrington, which is so ironic because the first season before it ever came out, I did a video on who the cast would be, and I said Angie Harrington would be a part of the first season cast, but she wasn't. And if you guys remember, we saw her at Lisa Barlow's like Women Empower Women, Successful Women event, but we didn't see any more from her. Now, the second season, we're starting to see more from her, and she just popped up out of nowhere. She's apparently cousins with Whitney. She wants to have a friendship with Whitney. She threw a casino event in the Mormon community, which I guess from what they're saying on the show is like a big no-no. She raised over $1 million for this charity. She's doing the damn thing. But when she told Lisa Barlow that she wants to have a friendship with Whitney Rose, Lisa was like, why? And they had a conversation and she said, I have the caterer is excited. And then 5 hours later, she receives a text from the caterer saying, sorry, we can't do your event. As per Lisa Barlow, we have other things going on and we can't do this event because it really doesn't fit our brand. I don't know what the hell they're talking about fitting their brand, but it was absolutely disgusting if in fact this did come from Lisa Barlow. And it was shady editing because if you guys saw the episode, Lisa Barlow says at the beginning of the episode at the beginning of the party, when she walks in, she's like, oh, wow, an event with no food or something like that. Or I hate when there's no food in an event. And it's like, well, that's shady because if you are actually attached to this, yeah, that would be a problem. Again, I don't want to get too heated about this. We'll be talking about all of it today. So guys, make sure you comment below. Let me know what you think about Lisa Barlow bringing up the allegations for Mary's cult-like church, alleged cult-like church. How do you feel about this? And do you think where there's smoke, there's fire? Could any truth be out there when it comes to these rumors, or do you feel like someone is just reaching here? You guys can go ahead and give me your unfiltered opinion and comment below. I welcome you to do so. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. Now with that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.